I want to, first of all, talk more about the global economy than about India. And coming from where I come from, I think there is a fundamental tectonic shift in the world economy because the growth areas have shifted away from the Western countries to Asia and elsewhere. Certainly, while the United States will probably return to something like the old trend growth rate, although I cannot guarantee that, Europe will not return to a trend growth rate within the next 15 years. I'm particularly deeply pessimistic about Europe, and I'm going to maintain that. So you have the real shift in terms of markets, in terms of technology, in terms of migration movements, and so on, and therefore the weight of sort of non-OECD countries, as it were, will rise in the world economy. To the extent that it affects India, one advantage India has, it is not as export-oriented an economy as China is. And therefore the slowdown in Europe will not affect it that much. And there is time now for India to reorient its exports towards where the markets are. And since the markets are away from Europe and likely to be away from Europe, that is going to be very crucial for India. Now, whether India can take advantage of that or not depends very upon the quality of economic policy. And the quality of economic policy in India, I'm sorry to say, depends upon the quality of the politics. The question is, what can we say whether the Indian political system will become more or less decisive about the way it runs the economy? And I think the jury has to be out on that as yet. I'm optimistic in the medium term that things will improve. They can't get any worse. And this is not in terms of any particular political party, but the character of politics is such that there is no political party which openly is for economic efficiency. No party actually either claims credit for reforms or says we ought to pursue economic efficiency. All political parties' rhetoric is populism and governmentalism. So, I mean, the Swatantra Party was the last party which actually had a sort of an open ideology of saying we like a certain kind of liberalization. Now, I think Suryat Balla had this proposition. He said the Indian civil service was so bright, they're so fantastic that they made even a bad policy work during the 1950s and 1960s. And I don't think that we can go on relying upon bright civil servants. So I think one of the major things to watch over the next is, will the politics change? Will it change even due to the generational change? Eventually people have to die. I don't want them to, but people have to die. And there might be a generation shift in politics. And it could be that a younger generation, some of whom we are already on display in Parliament and elsewhere, are better informed about how the world works and how the world does not owe India a living, and how the world is not occupied 24/7 in downgrading India, which is what the older generation believes. And that would be a crucial thing. Lastly, I think even the slow pace of reform, as it is going on, with all the cautions and bells and whistles, will probably make India better equipped to deal with a global economy and the uncertainties by having it better integrated with the world and sort of more economically efficient. Lastly, the demographic dividend may or may not bear a dividend, may not benefit unless India has a really massive policy of investment in education, not only in terms of money, but in terms of changing the culture and quality of the educational institutions which are there. There again, if we admit the foreign university to operate in India, we may improve. Otherwise, we will stay the same.